effectively the same. Actually, a small advantage for Jared Rochold. And the weight close enough that it should not be a factor in this one. Lillian Garcia gets these heavyweights going inside the PFL Smart Cage.
And now PFL action continues with 3 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He specializes in combat sambo, standing at 6'5", weighing in at 243 pounds. In 27 professional bouts, he has a record of 22 victories and 5 defeats with 18 wins by stoppage. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, here is Denis Goltsov. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a wrestler, standing at 6'2", weighing in at 251 pounds. In 23 professional bouts, he has a record of 17 victories and 6 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, he was a semi-finalist in last year's heavyweight division. Fighting out of Sandpoint, Idaho, the Big Show, Jared Rochold. The referee in action is Dan Mergliata.
Jared Rochold in the silver trunks. Denis Goltsov out of Russia making his debut in the blue.
Rochold to use that overhand right to set up his double leg.
Nice little combination there, trying to close the distances, Rochold.
Said he's been working on his striking, and it looks like he has.
I don't know if we saw him throw 3 in a row all of last season, and that's what he started with in season 2. Jab flicked out there for Denis Goltsov.
Goltsov said he's ready to deal with Jared's wrestling, and if he gets taken down, he's going to scramble and fight to get back to his feet. Easier said than done.
He's a well-balanced fighter, 9 knockout finishes, 9 submissions, only 4 decisions on his victories there for Denis Goltsov. There's again the striking attack from Jared Rochold.
I'm wondering if Rochold just lost.
Oh, we got to pull that. You saw it. Good. Gotta let the right
Take a look
go.
inside the
Can't be
red
just
corner
one.
here of Jared Rochold.
There we go.
Jab lands for Goltsov.
Disrupt with the feint, and let's look to go into our takedown entries. Good. Let's get ready to snap single. Back to the cage. We got to be aggressive there.
Goltsov is definitely respecting Rochold's wrestling takedowns.
Oh, bring the right hand.
Big clip there.
Rochov's in trouble.
Goltsov looks to finish Jared Rochold. Dan Mergliata steps in, and it's 6 points in his debut for Denis Goltsov after dropping Jared Rochold.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stoppage comes officially at 2 minutes and 3 seconds into round number 1. Your winner by TKO, earning 6 points in the heavyweight division, Denis Goltsov.
Here's our tail of the tape. And there is that 5-inch height advantage for Denis Goltsov. It only translates, though, to a 1-inch arm reach advantage. Kelvin Tiller, wide-shouldered and long arms. Can he close the distance and find Denis Goltsov chin tonight? Lillian Garcia gets these heavyweights going in the PFL cage.
This is a battle for the #1 seed in the heavyweight division. And it is a classic Russia versus USA matchup. This fight is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more in car insurance. Make sure you visit geico.com to get your quote today. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He specializes in combat sambo, standing at 6'5" and weighing in at 241 pounds. In 28 professional bouts, he has a record of 23 victories and 5 defeats, and is coming off a first-round knockout in his PFL debut. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia.
Mama's boy raining down as we get started. 3 5-minute heavyweight rounds. And a jab right off from Denis Goltsov.
And he has a powerful jab. That's what he put Jared Rochold down with.
Very long, straight, jousting jab.
Quick.
Driving right through those toes all the way out to the end of that fist.
We talked about his combat sambo experience, but also, the right hands and the knee from Denis Goltsov. He's well-rounded. 10 knockouts, 9 submission victories.
23 victories totally in his career. Very well-rounded.
That jab keeps landing.
Sticking him with that.
Snapping the head back of the mouthpiece.
Came out.
Mouthpiece is on the mat. Immediately replaced.
So Tiller was telling us in the fighter interviews his mom was concerned about this fight because of the Rocky movies. You know, Rocky and Drago. And man, that jab is kind of Drago-esque.
Head kick tested out there by Denis Goltsov, who is controlling the distance, using the range. And the jab keeps snapping and landing on the Mama's boy.
Those hurt.
Already showing wear and tear on the right side of Kelvin Tiller's face.
Kelvin can't afford to move backwards. He's got to move forwards here. He's got to smother those long punches and get inside, work that body and get way in there and get to that head.
Tiller's got to move his head. He's standing straight up and down. He's got to feint, give him some head movement. He can't stay on that straight line because that eye's going to swell.
Oh, that one hurt him. Straight right hand. Wobble the knees.
He's out of it. He's not in there.
Kelvin Tiller in big trouble. Denis Goltsov pouring it on here. Tiller leaps and tries to grab a leg. In huge trouble. Referee stops the fight to replace the mouthpiece of Kelvin Tiller, who is in massive trouble and barely aware of where he's at right now.
Tiller's got to throw. He's got to throw. He can't wait.
There you go. Get low. Get in there, Kelvin.
He's got to make this dirty.
He's got to do.
Yeah, he can't make this technical.
He stands out that range and he's just going to get picked apart. That jab is just going to keep coming.
2 minutes into this fight and Kelvin Tiller has worn a lot of damage on that face. He closes the distance, eats a knee.
Comes out again.
It keeps coming out. Blood running down the face of Kelvin Tiller.
Good fight. Keep it in your mouth. Keep it in your mouth, Red.
Goltsov looking for the trip.
Keep that mouthpiece in your mouth.
Looking
Keep
at
that
underhook.
mouthpiece in your mouth, Red.
Referee telling Kelvin Tiller to keep the mouthpiece in. Having a hard time doing that as Denis Goltsov dumps him to his back.
There's a lot of blood in his mouth, so it's hard to breathe, and he's swallowing that.
No elbows.
Goltsov hammer fists. Referee watching closely as Kelvin Tiller wears punishment on the bottom.
Tiller using his legs effectively, creating some distance. Nice little scramble attempt by Tiller.
And once again, the mouthpiece is out.
Goltsov floating over the top nicely, staying in position and continuing to rain down punishment.
Tiller has to tie him up if he wants to get that mouthpiece back, but he also needs to tie him up to stop receiving this punishment.
Referee will stop it one more time, put the mouthpiece back in. Back to action. Denis Goltsov throws a vicious right hand down from the top. Kelvin Tiller appears to have gathered his wits a little bit, though. He's using his legs.
He's absolutely still in this fight at this point. He was out of it there for a minute, for sure. I guarantee he's not spitting that mouthpiece out on purpose. He's taking some big shots.
Big shots. And like I said, all that blood in your mouth does not feel good.
Goltsov's got the, Tiller's got the underhook on the bottom, Randy. But in this much trouble, what does he have to do to get out of here?
Well, I mean, he's got to circle towards that underhook, continue to use his legs and knees to create space. But it looks to me like that double underhook, he's just hoping to hang on and stop the punishment at this point.
He's got 1 minute left, just inside of 1 minute left here in round number 1. Goltsov still seeking potentially 6 points on top of the Mama's boy, Kelvin Tiller.
And if Tiller is to make it through this round, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he walks back to the corner. I mean, he's really close to his corner, so.
Another right hand from the top. Denis Goltsov isolating the defense.
Look at that right eye. It's swollen shut. That's all from the jab.
Hammer fists again from Goltsov inside of 30 seconds. Round number 1, all Denis Goltsov.
Tiller using the fence, got a guillotine attempt.
Bloody and slippery, 10 seconds left here in round number 1. Tiller will survive. What happens in round number 2? We find out next. Here's a right hand from Denis Goltsov, putting Kelvin Tiller on silly street. How much is left in the tank of Denis Goltsov? We're going to find out here.
I have been in that situation once. The first time I fought Pedro Rizzo, punched myself out trying to finish the fight. I got my butt handed to me the second round.
Big leg kicks there from Kelvin Tiller to open the round.
Here's Tiller doing what he needed to do in the first round.
Yes, that's what he needs to do. Take those legs and attack. But Goltsov is a two-time world champion. Combat.
Nice takedown by Tiller.
The Mama's boy.
And look at Goltsov with the reversal.
Full mount.
Tiller able to recover half guard here. Nice grappling exchange there to open round number 2. Potentially the number 1 seed on the line here at heavyweight, and you can see why. Tiller working to a hip. He's got the underhook and actually had the body lock there from the bottom.
Truly, no matter how this fight plays out, who ends up with their hand raised at the end, this is a great learning experience for Kelvin Tiller. He's going to come out of this fight learning a lot.
Goltsov trying to neck crank.
Yeah, this is a nasty neck crank attempt here by Denis Goltsov. Tiller trying to push the elbow up and relieve some of that pressure.
This is something you can get away with when you're 6'5", I think. Stretch a guy out.
We've seen Kelvin Tiller's grappling really develop. His ground game is formidable. He's submitted guys that have not previously ever been submitted in their mixed martial arts careers. But Denis Goltsov right now is on top, smothering Kelvin Tiller. Referee, it looks like he is. He's warning.
Point deduction.
No, that was a point deduction by the referee for losing the mouthpiece.
From the position Tiller is in, he should take this right knee and bring that to the inside. Bring that knee to the inside here so that he can press his body away from Goltsov and control that hand to get to his feet. Once again, he's controlling that wrist. You see what he's pushing that wrist down? Get that knee to the inside. Create some space.
On cue, he gets the butterfly guard there and then decides to better just close the guard. Denis Goltsov gives him a body shot and a head shot for his troubles.
Closed guard in this situation with a guy 6'5" on top, he is not a good place to be. Because even with the closed guard, he can still reach you. It's hard to control that distance in a typical guard situation.
I'm standing up.
Referee standing up the action here and calling time. Denis Goltsov confused by what's going on here, and this is where the point deduction will come.
For spitting out the mouthpiece. 1 point deduction, spitting out the mouthpiece. 1 point deduction, spitting out the mouthpiece, okay?
Potentially significant here.
You were stalemate, so I'm standing you back up. You're stalemate.
Now, Kelvin Tiller definitely is going to need a stoppage here.
Yeah, because that first round could easily be called a 10-8 round.
Overhand right misses for Tiller. Back to the jab work and a knee from Denis Goltsov.
That's what Tiller needs to get back to, those leg kicks. Stay on the, if he's going to stay on the outside, blast those leg kicks, try to slow the big man down.
Tiller with another successful takedown. Can he stay on top this time of Denis Goltsov?
Nice little sweep attempt by Goltsov. Man, he's wily under there.
Man.
And he lands in mount. He transitions all the way over. Excellent reversal switch there by Denis Goltsov.
Such nice long levers, and he uses that leverage so well. Full mount. This is a bad spot for Kelvin Tiller. Little choke attempt here from the top position.
He gets the tap. The Ezekiel tap. The Ezekiel choke. Kelvin Tiller taps out at 5 points to Denis Goltsov. Looked like he recovered nicely, at least between rounds. That was a takedown from the first round for Goltsov, but in the second round, even, it was this from Kelvin Tiller.
It was, but once he got on top, Goltsov was able to reverse him and get to these really good positions. And when he got to that mount, landed some shots, and then looked for that Ezekiel, finished it. Good job, man. That experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stoppage comes officially at 3 minutes and 40 seconds into round number 2. Submission by neck crank, earning 5 points in the heavyweight division and clinching a spot in the playoffs, Denis Goltsov.
Here's the tail of the tape, and the obvious disparity, Eve, is the height advantage for Denis Goltsov.
That's a huge advantage. I mean, we're talking head and shoulders above Satoshi Ishii, and he's got a very stiff jab. He's going to be using that a lot tonight.
Lillian Garcia gets us going with these heavyweights.
We are live on ESPN2 from Las Vegas, Nevada, with the 2019 PFL playoffs. This quarterfinal fight is in the heavyweight division. It is brought to you by Cage Muscle. So fight fans, get fired up, cause it's about to get real! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an Olympic gold medalist in judo. Standing at 5 feet 10, he weighs in officially 231 pounds. In 32 professional bouts, he has a record of 22 victories, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. He is the number 8 seed, fighting out of Zagreb, Croatia. Here is Satoshi Ishii. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He specializes in combat sambo. Weighing in at 239 pounds, he stands at 6'5". In 29 professional bouts, he has a record of 24 victories and 5 defeats. He is the number 1 seed, fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Here is Denis Goltsov. Your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Denis Goltsov, the number 1 seed in the blue trunks. Satoshi Ishii in the silver. Heavyweight quarterfinal underway. 2 5-minute rounds.
Goltsov has been very effective with that jab all season. When we talked to the fighters yesterday, I asked him about, I'm like, what about that jab though? And he's like, you mean the golden jab?
The golden jab indeed. Dominated Kelvin Tiller with that punch. Tiller now eliminated from these heavyweight playoffs. It is fight twice, win twice, if you want to make it to New Year's Eve and the New York City Championships.
And as Ishii just set up for a shot, Goltsov flashed that golden jab, kept him on the outside.
Well, the big question in this fight here, Eve, is can Satoshi Ishii hang in striking exchanges with the taller, more experienced striker? That man in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is the reason some people think he can.
And Mirko Krokop has been training Satoshi Ishii for a few years now.
Feeling each other out here. Ishii looking to close distance, being very careful about it. We've seen both the long jab and the long right hand from Denis Goltsov as he tests out a leg kick there.
And the fact that I haven't seen the golden jab very much this round is a testament, and it's telling me that he's going to use it defensively, but Ishii's in on a leg, and he's...
Nice sprawl there by Goltsov. Hammer fists on the side of Satoshi Ishii. Ali Isaev watching intently. He will face the winner of this bout.
And Ishii's going to have to get up off of his butt. He's going to have to drive forward and pull that leg in tighter to try to finish, get back to his feet. It's going to be very hard to run the pipe from the position he's in right now.
You see there, Goltsov going to work with the left hand, not bothering with the back of the head of Ishii. Obviously, that's an illegal strike. He's punching the shoulder, punching the ribs, wearing down Satoshi Ishii's endurance here. Referee steps in, unsatisfied with the action. Good stand up there.
Now that height difference that Goltsov had, that advantage that he has, it's going to make it better for him in those sprawl positions. He's going to be able to put more of his hips on Ishii, make Ishii carry more of his weight by making Ishii long and extended. So Ishii's got to get in deep and try to get to the tie-ups that he likes to do.
A slip and a rip there for Satoshi Ishii, who lands a left hand. Goltsov shrugs it off. And now Ishii forces the Russian back against the cage. Nice big punch there from Satoshi Ishii, who in the southpaw stance obviously that takes away some of the jabbing ability of Denis Goltsov because he's an orthodox fighter.
It does, but if Goltsov can keep his foot on the outside, he can keep Ishii right inside his jab.
Back inside Ishii's corner with Mirko Krokop. Asking for Satoshi to finish the single here, doggedly pursuing that against a much taller Denis Goltsov.
Ishii told us that he wanted to get to the inside and work for some takedowns. He felt that Kelvin Tiller was able to put Goltsov on his back pretty easily 2 times, and he thought he would have a lot of success here. We see Goltsov shutting that down and also keeping his hips away from Ishii, not allowing Ishii to control and use that judo technique.
Even sometimes against the cage here, the taller fighter is actually at a disadvantage because it's easy to get your shoulder into that chin and nape of the neck area when you're the shorter guy for good pressure. But Goltsov able to turn it around. Ishii gets the successful toss there, judo on display, and now Goltsov finds himself in unfamiliar territory with Satoshi Ishii in side control.
That was a beautiful technique. Ishii got Goltsov's feet off the ground, and I don't know if Goltsov's feet have ever been that high except when he's doing those back flips.
Denis Goltsov hanging on the neck here of Satoshi Ishii. And this is what you like to see. Forcing the arm in there, grab an underhook, maybe recovers from guard. Goltsov does that. 30 seconds left in round 1.
We see Goltsov in an unfamiliar position, and the reason why he's there is because he's facing an Olympic judo gold medalist.
Goes up a triangle attempt here. Denis Goltsov tossing his left leg up over the back and neck of Satoshi Ishii.
He's doing the right thing by getting his head up, trying to look at the ceiling. There's not going to be enough time for Goltsov to do anything with this triangle position.
Is Satoshi Ishii saved by the bell in round 1? Welcome back to Las Vegas. Sean O'Connell and Eve Edwards at Mandalay Bay. Heavyweight quarterfinal action. The #1 seed Denis Goltsov in the blue against Satoshi Ishii, the 8th seed. And Eve, on my scorecard, Satoshi Ishii is now up.
Definitely, and if I was in Goltsov's corner, I would be telling him the same thing. We're down around. We got to go out here and take this one back. Try to get a finish, get a 10-8.
Quarterfinal bouts in Professional Fighters League playoff action are 2 5-minute rounds. If it is judged a draw after 2 rounds, the judges will be asked to select an overall winner. The old pride rules or schoolyard rules. Who did more work? Who came closer to finishing the fight? Head kick attempt there from Goltsov. It is fight twice and win twice for these heavyweights. The winner of this bout will move on to face Ali Isaev later tonight. 1 minute gone here in round number 2.
Goltsov is being more offensive here, pressing forward, throwing that jab, firing some front kicks, looking great open.
Right hand glances off the side of the head there. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this fight. Body kick from Denis Goltsov. That landed solid.
Now we're watching Ishii, and I'm thinking about him training with Mirko Krokop. Look at his footwork on the outside. He's not standing in one position, not allowing himself to become a target for Goltsov. He's parrying well. I would like to see him counter off of some of these attacks by Goltsov. That's a good opportunity for him to get inside and land some shots or tie up again and possibly get another takedown. Look at what Ishii's doing. He's keeping this distance between himself and Denis Goltsov simply by circling to his left, circling and not allowing Goltsov to back him up to the fence.
Right hand lands there, snaps the head back of Satoshi Ishii. Denis Goltsov getting back to work here with the second and final round of this quarterfinal nearly halfway gone. And a shot underneath from Satoshi Ishii, but Denis Goltsov once again sprawls, goes back to work offensively. Now kicking at the legs. Heavy leg kicks landing there on Satoshi Ishii.
And this is what Goltsov needs to do. He needs to put pressure on Ishii, make it, you know, try to finish, make it, show the judges that he wants to win this fight, that he wants to double it.
Goltsov swings and misses from the top there.
We see on the tracker here, most of the fight is happening on the outside of the cage, and that's because Ishii was using his footwork to separate him, keep himself separated from Goltsov, looking for his opportunity to shoot. Goltsov shut him down on this one.
Which is interesting. It's counterintuitive to think that the shorter fighter was opting for the greater distance. A lot of times it's about closing distance when you give up such a height disadvantage as Satoshi Ishii did, but strategically probably the right move here.
Yeah, trying to be smart to move in and find the timing to open up. But right now, Ishii's on his back, and it's very hard for him to stand up against a much taller, longer fighter. He doesn't want to put his hands down to pick himself up, because then there's nothing to protect his face.
Goltsov working away at the legs of Satoshi Ishii, and strategy comes into play here, because if Ishii won round one, he has to believe he's fully convinced the judges that this is enough of a performance in round two, that he still deserves to be advanced to those semifinals. The tiebreaker is overall body of work here, and Goltsov looking to pick up some urgency. Ishii being defensive on his back here primarily.
Yeah, and he has to stay in this position. It's very hard because of where Goltsov is standing, and Goltsov being so tall, that up kick is really not a threat to him.
If Goltsov wants to steal this round in this fight, Yves, what does he need to do in these final 30 seconds?
I feel like Goltsov needs to dive in right now. Get on top, land some big shots, try to advance, possibly get something, but there's not a lot of time to work for a submission. Just land big shots on the inside as if he wants to take Ishii out. Good positioning right here. Looking for the omoplata. He's losing the position. Goltsov triangle.
He tried this in the final 10 seconds of round number one. There wasn't enough time then. There won't be enough time now. A slam from Ishii to close out round number two. And an interesting question to be answered here by our judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. And the totals are 19-19, 20-18, and 20-18 for your winner by majority decision and advancing to the heavyweight semifinals, Denis Goltsov!
5-inch height advantage for Denis Goltsov, who came in at 240 pounds. Only 2 inches on the reach advantage. Mohamed Darif, broad shoulders, long arms. We'll see how it plays out as the heavyweights start their season. Lillian Garcia gets them going.
Well, good evening from Atlantic City. We are live and ready for action in the heavyweight division. So get fired up, because it's about to get real. This fight is presented to you by the Air Force Reserve. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a wrestler. Standing at 6 feet tall, he officially weighs in at 257.5 pounds. In 10 professional bouts, he has a record of 8 wins and 2 losses, with 6 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Titusville, Florida, here is Mohamed Mo Muscle Darif. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he specializes in combat sambo. Standing at 6'5", he officially weighs in at 240.5 pounds. In 31 professional bouts, this veteran has an impressive record of 21 5 wins and 6 losses, with 20 wins by way of stoppage. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, here is Denis Goltsov.
Round one, heavy favorite against the late replacement Mohamed Darif. Darif in the black and gray trunks, Goltsov in the blue. Touch of the gloves, and we are underway in the heavyweight regular season.
Goltsov has a tremendous jab that he uses quite often. Watch for that.
Almost on cue, he goes to work with it there. Nice movement by Mohamed Darif. Randy, it really is a last-second opponent change. I mean, it was post-weigh-ins that Muhammad Denis had to step in. That's a big adjustment for both fighters.
Absolutely. Tough for Denis, thinking he wasn't going to, because Willis made weight, and then he ends up getting a nod. Also tough for Goltsov to make an adjustment. He definitely thought he might want to take Willis to the ground. Not sure he's going to feel the same way facing Denis.
Denis has scored with a couple of leg kicks, one on the thigh, one on that low calf, and he goes for another one there.
Denis doing a good job of showing some lateral movement. He's not just moving straight on against Goltsov. That would cause him to eat a lot of jabs. So far, that lateral movement really saving him right now.
Another kick there from Denis. Trying to bank those for the later round.
Denis got this fight on late notice, but he definitely has done his homework here. Taking away that jab so far. Oh, big kick there by Goltsov.
Randy, we saw two versions of Denis Goltsov in season 2. Aggressive, where he was getting first-round stoppages, and then in his semifinal bout against Ali Isaev, a little hesitant, and that ended up hurting him.
Yeah, well, he's facing a gold medal, or a medalist, an Olympic caliber wrestler, and I think he was scared to let his hands and feet go for fear he's going to get taken down and smothered on the ground.
Goltsov making some nice adjustments right now, guys. Instead of going with that jab he's been missing because of that lateral movement of Denis, now going to the body with that rear front kick.
There's another kick from Goltsov and a jab right after.
Denis needs to be careful. He's changing levels, but it's not with the intent of faking a shot. And he might bend over into something nasty if he's not careful.
Right hand and a kick from Denis Goltsov. He goes up now, a knee. Goltsov pouring it on. Muhammad Denis has the arms up, but he's definitely a little bit hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt to the body right now, Sean. He's slowing down. One way to take away the movement is to beat up that body. That's exactly what Goltsov did.
I do not want to be Muhammad Denis's forearms right now, absorbing a few of those kicks either.
Well, that's the thing. You can block all you want, but any block you see out there, it hurts. There's another nice leg kick from Goltsov.
Goltsov mixing it up. That's the adjustment Kenny Florian was talking about. The jab's not working. The sequence gets changed, and now Goltsov begins to score. Denis is smiling about something.
Tell you, when Goltsov finds his groove, he really is pretty to watch. He's very fluid, he's relaxed, he's not forcing the knockout.
Denis still very much in this fight. Another big leg kick there from Goltsov as Denis moves to his left. Oh, man, really ripping off those kicks. Denis Goltsov, that's the thing with this guy, Randy. He can grapple, and in the striking game, all of his weapons are dangerous.
Absolutely. 10 submissions, 10 knockouts. This guy's very well-rounded. We don't give a lot of, or enough credit, in my opinion, to these combat sambo competitors.
Oh, question mark kick raised off the head there. Muhammad Denis appears to be a little bit wobbled, still here inside of 90 seconds.
And still smiling.
Another right hand from Goltsov. And Denis turtling up in the standing position. Now Goltsov drags him down, takes the back. Muhammad Denis needs to show that he's intelligently defending himself. Copeland is very close to the action here. Goltsov pours it on from the top. Denis goes down to his belly, and that might be the beginning of the end with inside of 1 minute left.
Yeah, he's eating a lot of shots.
Over the top, Goltsov pouring it on. Denis is on his belly. Copeland wants more action, and that's enough. Denis Goltsov with 6 points as he pounds out Muhammad Denis.
Here was Goltsov establishing his range, picking him apart with the jab, then switching things up and going to the body, slowing down Denis in that movement. And that's the best way to do it. Anytime you get an opponent who's moving a lot, especially laterally, you take him out with leg kicks, you attack the body. And that was really slowing down Denis, making him a stationary target where Goltsov kind of playing with his food there, and then later on, finishing the job. There's Goltsov from that clinch, just pounding away with knees. They just kind of leaned on him, bringing him or dragging him down to the canvas, and then just shot after shot. You see Denis belly down, not really defending himself or not trying to escape, and Gary Copeland forced to stop the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stoppage comes officially at 4 minutes and 21 seconds of round number 1. your winner by TKO and earning 6 points in the heavyweight division, Denis Goltsov.
Take a look at the tail of the tape presented by the Marine Corps. 2 6'5" mammoths in there. Brandon Sales is 40, but he moves in a way that would belie his age and his bulk. Almost 20 pounds heavier than his opponent. Sales with a 2-inch reach deficit in the arms and a 2-inch reach advantage on the legs. And Lillian Garcia gets the action going.
Thank you, Sean, and good evening. We are live from Atlantic City. These are the final bouts of the 2021 regular season of the Professional Fighters League. We continue in the heavyweight division. So get fired up, because it's about to get real. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a mixed martial artist. Standing at 6'5", he weighs in officially at 264.5 pounds. In 7 professional bouts, he has a record of 6 wins against just 1 defeat, with all 6 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Fort Benning, Georgia, here is Brandon Man of War Sales. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He specializes in combat sambo. Standing at 6'5", he weighs in officially at 246.5 pounds. In 32 professional bouts, this veteran has an impressive record of 26 wins and 6 losses with 21 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, here is Denis Goltsov!
Round 1, you ready, Red?
In the black and gray. A touch of the gloves to start us off on ESPN2. Inside leg kick from Sales. Brandon Sales, only 7 professional mixed martial arts fight, but Randy, he's an 18-year veteran of the combat sports with our U.S. military at the combative school.
Absolutely. He said that combatives training and being a trainer prepares him for this, but the rules of engagement are different, obviously, and they're always looking for a finish in what they do. You take second place in that, you're dead, pretty much.
Exchange of inside leg kicks here. Searching with that lead hook is Brandon Sales. Another nice low kick from Denis Goltsov.
Absolutely, and Randy, I think that really speaks to his mindset. We saw him in some very tough spots against Usman in his first fight here this season, and he just always stayed calm, was able to battle back repeatedly. This guy is tough as nails.
And you can tell the quick turnaround has been advantageous for Brandon Sales. He looks even leaner than he did in his last fight. He came in great shape in that one, was able to weather a storm, display his chin, as Goltsov's sharp jab continues to display itself. It might be his best weapon, Kenny.
Yeah, he has a tremendous jab, and just in general, he's one of the few heavyweights who really is a true A-class athlete. Just the way that he moves, he's so fluid, so good at judging distance. And when he smells blood, he takes you out immediately.
Sales tries the lead hook again. Show up with the knee, there's that jab. We've seen him put people down with a jab before. Denis Goltsov is dangerous everywhere. As Randy mentioned, a 3-time World Combat Sambo champion. I once asked him how many combat sambo matches he'd had, and he didn't know the number. He laughed at me. He was like, what are you talking
It's
about?
over 100, I'm sure.
There's just a bunch of tournaments. What do you mean? There's Jamel Jones. He made his PFL debut earlier tonight. He's watching intently because if Brandon Sales wins, Jones is out of the playoffs. If Denis Goltsov wins, Jamel Jones is in the heavyweight playoffs. PFL MMA, the only format that mimics true sports. Regular season, playoffs, and a championship. There's those versatile kicks from Brandon Sales. He likes to mix them up, he likes to punish the legs. There's that elliptical kick.
Sales the one pressing forward and bringing the action for sure. Making Goltsov back up, which is something we don't see very often.
And again, Sales, for a guy who cuts down at 265 pounds, I tell you what, he is very agile, very quick.
He said he stayed within 25 pounds this time. He didn't have to cut as much weight.
Oh, man.
Blood coming from the nose of Brandon Sales, pouring down over his mouth. That's from that jab of Denis Goltsov, and continues to score with it. And the weapon of choice for Brandon Sales appears to be that inside leg kick for now.
Nice job, Brandon. This is it. This is what we're working on right here. Beautiful movement.
It was a long jousting jab by Denis Goltsov.
Comes with some serious pop. Check hook there from Sales. A little clash of the Titans early in this heavyweight affair. 90 seconds remain in round number 1.
I also wonder if there's some damage potentially to the jaw of Sales. It looks like his mouth has been open for the last minute or so.
He might be having to breathe out of that mouth with the damage to the nose. We'll maybe take a listen in the corner to try and figure it out between rounds if we get there. Shot attempt there, stopped by Brandon Sales, who walks Goltsov back to the barrier. 1 minute remaining in round number 1.
Sales trying to get his hips underneath Goltsov, see if he can hit a takedown or a lift.
Goltsov was impressive head movement, ducking under a couple of those big shots from Sales. Unusual for a guy that big to be able to move that well.
Sales with the body lock here, trying to grab a takedown at the end of round 1. Easier said than done against a guy like Denis Goltsov.
Here's the
And
takedown.
Goltsov with the trip.
Ezekiel choke attempt.
10 seconds remain here. Can Brandon Sales hold on? He shrugs and presses Goltsov off of him. Stays safe. Round 2 next.
Round 2, you ready, Red? Round 2, you ready,
And
blue?
Denis Goltsov in the blue trunks. Goltsov wins on the FPR scale and the verdict fan vote so far in round number 1. Switch of the stance here from Brandon Sales. Both of these heavyweights respecting one another's power, not taking significant risks in round number 1. There's the jab again. Oh. Head kick from Goltsov. 2 kicks in a row there from Denis Goltsov. And if you're just joining us, the final heavyweight spot is on the line. It comes down to Brandon Sales, if he can get a win here, or Jamel Jones, who fought earlier. In fact, our first fight of the night got a big finish. Oh, nice right hand there from Goltsov on the ear of Sales, and then the jab lands. Brandon Sales starting to absorb some of these strikes from Denis Goltsov. Now a clinch from the Russian. Knee up the middle from Sales.
Watch for the trip. There it is again. Exactly the same as the last one. A little jiu-jitsu outside stiff body lock. Takes those hips and brings him right over the leg that he can't move because it's blocked from the trip.
Goltsov lands in half guard.
Full mount now.
Into the mount.
Wait for your opening.
3.5 minutes remaining here in round number 2.
Ezekiel choke attempt by Goltsov.
Come on, Brandon. Work out of that.
Brandon's got to address it, obviously.
He's done it before.
He's seen it.
Brandon
He's trying to
Sales
get out. He's trying to find a way out. It's
this
definitely
is
tight.
This is a very nasty choke. Sales pushing with all his might, trying to get Goltsov off.
And he
the
does.
Russian abandons it. Wow.
Yeah, he does a great job of off-balancing you. He did it a couple times in half guard, did it again for mount, and is able to survive. And again, this is Sales, a true survivor, knows how to escape a lot of these very tough positions.
There you go. Open it up.
Low mount by Goltsov. You can see him vined in, got his feet tucked in under Sales' behind, lock himself into that top position.
Sales trying to hold down the head of Goltsov to prevent him from posturing up and landing big shots.
See another Ezekiel here.
There it is.
Sales
Look
corner.
for Brandon to rock and try and rock and make him put an arm out. He's going to try and make Goltsov put an arm out. But that's tight again. He's having trouble moving him. So Big guy on top of you.
Trying to bench press him
Ezekiel.
off. Goltsov still squeezing. Once again, Sales is able to evade the choke. Couple of tight submission attempts here in the second frame from Denis Goltsov. He looks to set it up one more time. Wrapping that arm deep around the neck of Brandon Sales from this mount position.
The Ezekiel choke is a tricky thing, Kenny.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a technique we're seeing more and more. It's coming into fashion.
Yeah, I think we saw it in Rare Style last week.
Yes.
With Mega Millions, and now I saw instructional videos after that fight on people showing how this choke works.
Yep. That's the cool thing about martial arts and mixed martial arts. It's always evolving. There's another attempt at the Ezekiel.
Goltsov doesn't want to give up on this Ezekiel. Sales is trying to grit it out. Now pulling down, and one more time. Goltsov thinks better of it. Gets right back to another attempt and then brings a left hand behind it.
I'm surprised Goltsov hasn't postured up and tried to fire down big shots. He's been staying tight. Looks like he's been really trying to be good about keeping good position and staying chest to chest with Sales.
Absolutely, staying in that low mount position, locked in with the binds. Man, Sales is such a big guy. You get in a high mount and it'd be like riding a bull.
Yeah.
Now Denis Goltsov steps off the mount into side control. He'll work his way to north-south, looking for this north-south choke.
He's going to change the Darce. Now he's in a Darce choke. Trying to roll in for that Darce, but he's going to lose position.
Oh,
Sales gets out.
Able to reverse with 20 seconds remaining here in round number 2. He'll try and grab a choke. 10 seconds remaining here. Sales will finish the round on top. Round 3 ahead. Final round of heavyweight action here in our regular season of the PFL. Denis Goltsov in blue. Brandon Sales in the black and gray.
Oh, Sales looks to be a little weary.
Stiff
He's
right
not
hand.
showing the energy that we've seen. He's not moving his head. He does not look like he's weathering this very well.
Absolutely. He was hunched over after that second round as well, Randy.
Well, he had to hang on for dear life on a few Ezekiel choke attempts. He was able to reverse position at the end of round number 2. Goltsov going to work again with the jab.
Brandon's
There's a right hand.
going to have to dig deep because he's in deep trouble here.
Goltsov tries to drag him down.
I mean, at this point, you can call Sales' chin legendary. I mean, wow, that's about as good of a combination as you're going to see. And he landed everything. Punches, kicks, and Sales still standing.
Nice little back sweep by Goltsov. He's going to climb back into, probably back into mount here. He's got half guard right now. Look for him to step over to mount.
And Sales could get into the playoffs with a win of any kind, but he's going to need a finish, and that does not look to be in the cards for the moment here. Brandon Sales absorbing some big ground and pound here.
There it is.
Gary Copeland steps in and waves it off. Denis Goltsov, a third round finish. TKO, and that means Jamel Jones gets into the playoffs. How about that?
Wow.
Denis Goltsov, third round finish, good for 4 points.
Here, a long jab, misses. Here comes the kick right to the chops. Oh my gosh.
How about that?
Blood in the nose from the breaking the nose earlier in the fight.
Yeah.
Here, half guard, bottom leg Turk, got him hemmed up against the fence and just landed bombs, and the referee's seen enough.
Efficient performance from Denis Goltsov. He got behind the jab early. He used his ground game as well. He really showed the complete array, especially with that emphatic head kick to finish a combination. Man, this guy is a problem at heavyweight.
That was some Hollywood prop blood coming out of there.
Yeah.
That was crazy, but what a well-rounded fighter. Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this stoppage comes officially at 1 minute and 24 seconds. of round number 3. Your winner by TKO, earning 4 points and clinching the number 2 seed in the 2021 PFL playoffs, Denis Goltsov!
Tail of the tape also brought to you by Red Con 1. Cody Goodale is 1 year older. It's Denis Goltsov, who's 3 inches taller. Goodale weighed in at 253, 247 for Goltsov, who's got a reach advantage of 2 inches on the arms, 1 inch on the legs. Lillian Garcia, let's go.
This fight, ladies and gentlemen, is in the heavyweight division, so get fired up, because it's about to get real. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a freestyle fighter, standing at 6'2". He weighs in officially at 253 1/4 pounds. In 13 professional fights, he has a record of 8 victories and 5 defeats. Fighting out of Riverside, California, here is Cody Goodale. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he specializes in combat sambo. Standing at 6'5", he officially weighs in at 247 1/2 pounds. In 34 professional fights, this veteran has an impressive record of 27 victories and 7 defeats, with 22 wins by way of stoppage. Fight fans, here is Denis Goltsov. Your referee in charge, Jacob Montalvo.
You saw the record, you saw the resume for Denis Goltsov. Cody Goodale feels that his record does not speak to his talent, and we'll find out whether or not that statement is true. He had a very strange path to this point in his career. He had 4 fights before he was 20 years old, no training under his belt, took a bunch of bad losses earlier in his career. Then he fought, Randy, as you know, in Army Combatives for 7 years.
He won a DOD championship in Army Combatives, which is a 3-day endeavor. It's a grueling thing. So he had his first 4 fights without even a striking coach.
Heavy leg kick there from Denis Goltsov. Stiff jab as well. We've talked about this before, Kenny. There are very few heavyweights in the world with a better jab than Denis Goltsov.
Yeah, he really has a beautiful jab, and Cody said that's what he needs to be ready for tonight. He said he had an answer for it, didn't have an answer for it there.
Goodale tries to go to the body. The question with Denis Goltsov is, he's got all the skills, he's got an incredible amount of experience in both mixed martial arts and combat sambo. So what has stood in his way? He just hasn't been able to pull the trigger in some of those semifinal fights, and he hasn't made it to a championship because of it. So,
yeah, I think it's been more mental for Denis Goltsov.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's so talented, has so much potential, but, you know, when he starts to become the nail a little bit, he starts to fade. Beautiful takedown there by Goltsov.
Hammer fist cut under the eye of Cody Goodale. Lots of time left for Denis Goltsov to establish himself on top.
Yeah, he's got great position here up against the cage. He's trapping that arm now.
Nice right hand there from Denis Goltsov.
Goltsov doing a great job of staying postured, creating that space to bring those long levers down and do damaging punches.
And Cody trying to stay active from this half guard position. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and as you mentioned, a 3-time all DOD heavyweight champion. And he said that was his time to really learn and understand the game. Learned a lot during that process, got much better. But here he is in a very tough spot against the Russian Goltsov.
Not only the cut, but also some serious swelling on the left eye of Cody Goodale now. Goltsov going to work from the top position.
These are some brutal shots.
Looks
here.
like an elbow. You can make a case, I suppose, that it was a forearm, but a referee warning, perhaps.
Definitely looked like a forearm strike to me, but it was borderline for sure, and you need to be careful. The
referee steps in. He had seen enough. Cody Goodale not improving position, and the referee waves it off. Denis Goltsov, a quick 6 points for that first round finish.
Yeah, that's right. There's that crazy jab there from Denis Goltsov. On point yet again. Here's a nice takedown. A little outside trip. Moved into half guard pretty quickly. Got his posture and was landing some really heavy shots. You see Cody Goodale bleeding right from the get-go. I believe it was from one of those jabs that he ate on the feet. And Goltsov just relentless. And the referee forced to step in and stop this. Some nice uppercuts there. There's a hammer fist. Whether it was right hand or left hand, these were heavy shots that were landing from Denis Goltsov, a guy with a ton of potential and a pretty mistake-free performance here, guys.
An efficient way to earn 6 points, which will give him top placement in the heavyweight standings for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stoppage comes officially at 3 minutes and 20 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by TKO, earning 6 points in the heavyweight division, Denis Goltsov!
Tail of the tape for these two massive heavyweights. Brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Maurice Green, 3 years older. He's also 2 inches taller somehow than the 6'5" Denis Goltsov. Over 13 foot of heavyweights inside of our smart cage. Reach advantage favors Maurice Green in both the arms and the legs. Lillian Garcia, let's go.
Well, good evening. We are live from Atlanta, Georgia with the 2022 PFL regular season. This fight is in the heavyweight division, so get fired up, because it's about to get real! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a striker, standing at 6 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs in officially 241.5 pounds. In 16 professional fights, he has a record of 10 wins and 6 losses, with 8 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Broad Albin, New York, here is the crochet boss, Maurice Green! His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he specializes in combat sambo. Standing at 6'5", he officially weighs in at 244.5 pounds. In 35 professional fights, this veteran has a record of 28 wins and 7 losses, with 23 victories by way of stoppage. Fight fans, here is Denis Goltsov!
Round 1, you ready, blue? Yes, sir. Round 1, you ready, red? Let's fight.
Touch of the gloves. Heavyweights underway here on ESPN. Maurice Green with the elliptical kick. Long jab here from Green. That is the leg kick from Denis Goltsov. He likes to use the jab and the leg kick to set up everything else.
Maurice Green staying very busy here from the outside.
Goltsov closing this distance. They're going to sweep the legs out from under Green. Takes him down. Far side underhook for Goltsov. Green closes up the half guard for now. Goltsov could secure himself a playoff spot with a win of any kind. Maurice Green, to keep his playoff hopes alive, needs a first round finish. He told us he is comfortable on the ground. Maybe we'll see him pull out some tricks.
Goltsov has some good submissions on the ground, has some excellent ground and pound as well.
Use that case to get up, bro. Watch the guillotine.
Arm in front headlock attempt here by Goltsov.
Hand control. Hand control.
John
Use the
Jones
cage to get up.
inside the corner, Maurice Green. He is on the opposite side of the cage, off ring advice. Goltsov has Maurice Green in his own corner.
Make sure you watch back ahead.
Snakes his arm around the neck of Green. Green's able to turn out of it.
Yeah, Maurice needs to get that underhook. Almost went for it there. Now he has it. See if he can post up on his elbow and hand to get back to his feet here. Goltsov with good head position, though. He's driving that head into the jaw of Maurice Green, right on the top of the head, which is the end of the lever there, pinning that head down to the canvas.
You go where your head goes. He pins that head down. He ain't going anywhere without that.
2-on-1 for a moment there from Green. Denis Goltsov.
Arm triangle.
Trying to set this arm triangle up. Nice guard recovery here by Maurice Green as we look through Gary Copeland's referee cam. Round one almost halfway gone. You can see the live odds favoring Denis Goltsov.
Oh, look at this. Maurice Green attacking a triangle, but Goltsov was onto it. Almost turned it into a guard pass.
Right hand comes down from the top. Big hammer fist there from Denis Goltsov.
And he's got that left arm of Maurice Green trapped. He's going to pound away here, try to get a finish.
There's the arm triangle again.
Yeah, he might be getting saved by the cage there. He's got a little bit of space now, though.
He's got it.
Goltsov's got the hands locked up. Squeezing tight, forcing Maurice Green's shoulder into his own carotid. Green looking to hip out, twist himself to top position here. Goltsov trying to scramble back.
That shoulder's a little too high. It's driving across the jaw right now of Maurice Green. If he can get a little bit lower, he can finish it. A little bit better of position here for him.
Goltsov steps into the mounts, lets go of the choke. Good defense there by Maurice Green.
Instant horsepower. You can hip a guy up and almost roll him over like that from that position. Very interesting. A lot of horsepower there demonstrated by Maurice Green.
And he said he was prepared to suffer down there. He wasn't afraid of having to be in some very difficult positions against Goltsov. Well, he's in one right now.
One more time into the blue corner, John Jones.
One minute, bro. 1 minute, bro.
Maurice Green doing a good job of stopping any significant offense here for Denis Goltsov, but Goltsov staying in this mount, glued to the chest of Maurice Green.
Yeah, Maurice Green is controlling the posture of Goltsov, but it's not helping him to escape the position at all.
Goltsov slid down into a low mount and bind in both legs. That's going to be really tough to get out of.
Watch the back of the head, Red. Stay away from the back of the head.
Green appears to be attempting to ride it out, but here comes an Ezekiel choke attempt from Denis Goltsov. He was the only PFL fighter to secure one.
Well, he's showing some excellent submission defense here against Goltsov.
Closing seconds here of round number one. Finished with Denis Goltsov on top, and round two is next. Heavyweight regular season action here in the Professional Fighters League. Denis Goltsov needs a win of any kind to secure himself a playoff spot. Green tries to wing a right hand, switches his stance. Goltsov closes the distance, goes chest to chest. Double underhooks though for Maurice Green.
Maurice in a much better position here with double underhooks, looking for a takedown of his own. Falls down though, tripped himself up.
And Goltsov right into his guard.
I think Maurice has to open that guard, get those feet back in, use those long levers and that 6'7" frame of his to create some distance and a scramble and hope to get back to his feet.
Yeah, he's in a good position to do it too. If he can get his back up against the cage, he could cage walk back to his feet. That was his opportunity to put those feet on those hips and create that space, Randy.
Goltsov snuck a left hand through. Having a hard time getting past the defense of Maurice Green. Here's our Acronis fight tracker, part of the Smart Cage features. 90% of this one has taken place up against the cage. Nice short right hand from Denis Goltsov. Another one over the top of the guard of Maurice Green.
Maurice doing a pretty solid job, though, from his guard defensively. Goltsov really hasn't been able to be so effective from the guard position. And we've seen Goltsov fade in round 3. If he can survive this round, that's where Green can really put his foot on the gas and start attacking Goltsov.
Goltsov selected with his shots here from this top position. Not attempting to pass the closed guard of Maurice Green. Content to keep his head on the chest.
And did a good job steering Green away from the cage there.
Snuck a left hand through, down the center of Maurice Green's guard.
Looks like Maurice is trying to set up that triangle again. He's trying to push that right arm of Goltsov in between his legs where he can set up that triangle.
Nice right and the left there from Denis Goltsov. Total control of this fight for the former Combat Sambo world champion.
He's trying to set up that Ezekiel. Yeah.
Two minutes remain here in round number 2. Gary Copeland is seated up on the ground. He wants him to stand it back up. Big deep breath from Denis Goltsov to perhaps punctuate Kenny Florian's earlier point. Body kick there after the jab, and a nice level change from Goltsov.
Goltsov was in deep on that double and just gave it up. He didn't want to drive his feet through and finish it.
Goltsov stepping across. Green's able to negate that. Trying to climb onto the back of Denis Goltsov, who rolls through for a takedown.
A nice takedown there by Goltsov. I thought Maurice Green probably should have disengaged there from the back. Now he's trying to get back to his feet here.
Side control for Denis Goltsov. 1 minute remains in round 2. Shoulder pressure here from the top. Goltsov will sit out to the head. Thinks better of it. Goltsov brings a knee to the body. Goltsov trying this Americana here. Green's able to negate that.
Yeah, Green's been able to shut down a lot of these submission attempts from Goltsov. Now he's in that turtle position. Goltsov been expending a lot of energy here. It's going to be interesting to see how he feels in round 3.
Green trying for the Kimura grip as we head to the 3rd round.
Stop. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Round
Let's
3,
see if Maurice Green can take advantage of the fact that Goltsov might be very, very tired here in round 3.
Goltsov in the blue trunks, Maurice Green in the gray.
To Maurice Green's credit, he's made Goltsov work for every inch of this.
He sure has. It's exactly what he said in our fighter meetings he was going to try to do here.
Big left hand landed there for Denis Goltsov, countering the kick of Maurice Green. Green comes back with a right hand. Goltsov presses Green to the cage, works for another trip. Good balance by Maurice Green.
And a good job, sorry, Sean, by Maurice Green to turn away from the cage. Here he is getting pinned up. This is where Goltsov wants him. But let's see if Maurice can turn his back off the cage like he's been doing very well here in round 3.
Knee comes up the middle for Maurice Green.
Double underhooks now by Goltsov. He's got an over-under. He is capturing the hips. Takedown by Goltsov.
Lands in side control and steps out, trying to isolate the right arm of Maurice Green.
And Maurice Green will attack a lot of different chokes from this bottom position, even if he's in side control.
Head over to collectibleexchange.com for autographed event use gear and posters from your favorite PFL fighters. That's collectibleexchange.com. Denis Goltsov on top trying to climb into the mount. Maurice Green able to recover half guard. All Goltsov here in round number 3. Nice posture and a right hand to follow from Denis Goltsov. Not a lot of volume, but he has been selective and effective with some of those strikes.
Maurice Green now all the way in full guard here.
Let's stand him up, Ref.
John Jones in Maurice Green's corner. John, one of the most athletically talented fighters in mixed martial arts history. A long string of wins and defending the 205-pound title in the UFC. Here, cornering his fighter in Maurice Green. It's been an inspiration to Maurice, helped him with his mental skills as well as his technical skills going into each and every fight.
Gary Copeland looking closely at the closed guard of Maurice Green. The crowd chanting, stand him up. And he will comply. Little pop from the crowd for Gary Copeland.
You gotta stay busy, ready? Fight!
Bo Green springs right back up. Jab and overhand right. Back chest to chest they go. Double underhooks and a body lock here.
Maurice is pursuing this takedown. I think this is where he made that mistake earlier in the fight. He needs to disengage, take this to the center of the cage. It seems like he has more energy and more power in his punches.
I think John Jones agrees with you. He wants him to get out of this space and get to the kickboxing and punching range.
Yeah.
And Goltsov is able to step across and once again land inside control. The former Combat Sambo world champion showing the full array of his grappling prowess. Goltsov sits out to the head temporarily, and now he'll try and take the back of Maurice Green, who's building his base underneath. Inside of 1 minute here in this third and final round, Denis Goltsov will clinch a playoff spot with a victory. Maurice Green has less than a minute to make something happen. Another takedown for Goltsov.
Yeah, he's dominating the takedown game from that clinch position.
Back of the head.
I don't think we've had to see Denis Goltsov work this hard for a decision victory in any fight we've seen him in.
Final 10 seconds as we look through Gary Copeland's referee cam. Denis Goltsov will finish this fight on top. That has been the story most of the way. Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, earning 3 points in the heavyweight division, and clinching a spot in the 2022 PFL playoffs, Denis Goltsov!
Tail of the tape for this heavyweight feature is brought to you by Bud Light. Denis Goltsov is 32, Cesar Pereira is 6 years older. You can see Goltsov is the much larger fighter. He's 6'5", 245, 6'1", 216 for the former light heavyweight Cesar Mutanchi Pereira. But both men have a 78-inch reach on the arms, and the longer legs actually belong to the Brazilian in this one.
This next bout is set for 3 5-minute rounds in the PFL heavyweight division. Introducing first, standing in the blue corner at 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 215 3/4 pounds, with a flawless record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, Cesar Pereira. And his opponent standing in the red corner at 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 245 1/2 pounds, with a record of 29 wins and 7 losses. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, he is a 2-time PFL semifinalist, Denis Goltsov.
This is a regular season bout in the heavyweight division, finishing the first half of the regular season in that weight class. Southpaw stance for the Brazilian.
Cesar Ferreira with a little blitz.
Little low kick.
Watch the cup. Went to the body there. Goltsov still looking to measure the distance.
Oh, nice kick to the body there by Goltsov.
Our betting expert Ian Parker sweating out this feeling out process as Goltsov lands the right hand.
Yeah, Goltsov really had a great attitude towards this late opponent change. He's like, you know, I'm just happy to be here. I had some visa issues. I'm used to getting different opponents. Coming in here very positive, looking pretty sharp so far.
Goltsov looking to trip. I think he's got an arm in a 2-on-1 tied up. Nice kick by Goltsov coming out of the clinch.
Nice left hand there from Mutanchi.
Yeah, Ferreira was very close with that counter shot. Nice trip.
Body lock and the trip immediately from Goltsov. 90 seconds into this fight.
Seen Goltsov set up the Ezekiel choke. Looks like he might have been trying to play with that. Goltsov looking from the half guard, posturing up, trying to find a way to lay some damage on Cesar Ferreira.
Ian Parker says this will be done in under half a round. He's got 35 seconds, does Denis Goltsov, to make Ian Parker right.
Oh, Goltsov picking his shots.
Trying to make a
count. He's in trouble. He's in
Look
big trouble.
at Ian. was right. I told you, man, that ground and pound, absolutely nasty.
Stay here, it's over.
Wow.
Quick 6 for Goltsov.
Grace, nice job by Ferreira. There's the trip from the body lock to 6'5" Goltsov with the outside trip, right to half guard. Look for him to posture up now and watch how he picks his shots. He makes every one of them count. Tries to find those holes in the guard of Cesar Ferreira and make every one of those shots count from that top position. Using that back leg to anchor himself in that half guard. Picking it, there's a big shot right down the middle and another one right, left, and just continues the barrage from the top position, and the referee Mark Smith has seen enough. Again, very, very calculated ground and pound by Denis Goltsov.
Yeah, really a study in quality over quantity. Great posture. Once he got that posture, it was pretty much all over there for Ferreira.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Smith calls a stop to this bout at 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the first round, declaring your winner by knockout, earning 6 points in the PFL heavyweight division, Denis Goltsov.
Here's our tale of the day brought to you by Bud Light. Jorgen De Castro, the older fighter here at 36 years of age. Denis Goltsov still just 33, despite his extensive experience. Goltsov is 6'5". Jorgen De Castro weighed in at the heavyweight limits. Goltsov with an 8-inch advantage in reach on the arms. Both men measured 43 inches on the legs. Andy Shepard to you.
The following is a PFL regular season contest in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a striking specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 264 3/4 pounds and holds a record of 9 wins and 4 defeats. Fighting out of Mindelo, Cape Verde, the Mad Titan, Jorgen De Castro. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a combat sambo specialist and stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 246 1/4 pounds. In 37 professional bouts, he has earned a record of 30 victories and 7 losses. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, Denis Goltsov!
Are you ready? Ready? Fight! Touch of the gloves, and we are clinch of the #1 seed, Denis Goltsov with a quick 6.
Yeah, here it is, just jab after jab. There's a second one and a third. Not landing there, but just keeping Yorgan de Castro on the outside. You get the respect for the jab, and there's the right hand. Stop. Just off at an angle, exposed the center line, and Goltsov would not forgive. Here it is. He overextended himself. He threw himself off balance, and that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous cross. Put Yorgan de Castro down and out. And de Castro is a guy who has an excellent chin. He likes exchanging. He knew this was going to be the case. He'd have to eat a couple jabs to get in. Just Goltsov never let him in the proper range, and when he was able to capitalize, boy, did he ever.
Referee Blake Grice called a halt to the action at 18 seconds of round #1, declaring your winner via knockout and clinching the #1 seed in the 2023 PFL playoffs, Denis Goltsov!
Here's your Celsius tail of the tape. Denis Goltsov, 33 years of age. Jordan Heiderman is 31. Two giants, 6'5" and 6'3". Weighed in 243 and 247. You can see the reach is the same for these two on both arms and legs.
The following is a semi-final contest in the PFL heavyweight division. The winner will clinch a place in the PFL $1 Million Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a wrestling specialist and stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 247 1/4 pounds and holds a perfect professional record of 7 wins and no losses. Fighting out of Norfolk, Nebraska, he is the #4 seed, Jordan Heiderman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, is a combat sambo specialist and stands 6 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 243 pounds. And in 38 fights, he has earned an impressive record of 31 victories and 7 defeats. 15 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, he is a 3-time PFL semi-finalist and the #1 seed, Denis Goltsov.
3 5-minute rounds to determine who heads to a championship and a $1 million opportunity. You can see that jousting jab early from Goltsov, trying to keep Heiderman off of him.
Yep, and Heiderman trying to close that gap immediately, trying to pressure Goltsov and back him up.
Heiderman moving his head well, too. He's not going to be a stationary target with that head.
Heavy leg kick after the jab from Goltsov. Already the jab of Goltsov going to work, but a good leg kick there from Heiderman. Reina Ferreira, one half of our main event, watching on intently. As is Maurice Green. Both men hoping that they are one half of a championship bout, which means
Watch
a
for the
future
salto
opponent
here. He's got double overhooks. Goltsov does. He steps in with his hips. He can trip or salto from here. There it is, right there.
Beautiful. Right into side control for Denis Goltsov. Not where Jordan Heidemann wanted this bout to be with so much time left in the first round.
Goltsov looking to get to mount, trying to climb over.
Yeah, he's smashing the hips right now of Heidemann. And it's essentially the same thing as a mount, pretty much. Now Heidemann able to hook that ankle a little bit.
Ezekiel choke. Here's an Ezekiel
again.
Now Goltsov trying to isolate that left arm, crucifix position if he can.
And Heidemann's got to be careful to turn his back here. Now doing a good job of getting back to half guard.
Good recovery here by Heidemann. Now gonna have to work to get that right arm underhooked.
And Heidemann was prepared for this. He knew he was gonna be in some tough spots in this fight.
Good ground and pound here from Goltsov.
Good solid half guard, almost a three-quarter guard position by Goltsov.
There's some emphasis on those right hands. Heidemann trying to create a scramble. Gets his legs involved. Nasty big shot from the top. But look at the toughness from Jordan Heidemann. Looks like a cut on the bridge of the nose.
Goltsov getting good posture, raining down shots, getting his weight behind those shots. Heidemann doing his best to try to tie up those arms and close that gap.
Goltsov using that forearm across the cheek and neck to pin the head down on Heidemann, and then picking his shots well and making them count.
Heidemann trying to get those feet on the hips, to try to create space to get back to his feet. He has the cage behind him, but Goltsov just all over him here.
Relentless pressure from Goltsov, and blood in the eyes of Heidemann as we look through the Ghost Cam, proprietary PFL technology that lets you see through the links of our smart cage fence.
Goltsov back in the half guard. The fence is definitely not Heidemann's friend right now. Limiting his abilities to escape or to create any kind of scramble.
He's trying to attack Kimura from that side. It can be very difficult, especially when you have the cage behind you. But it can be very, very difficult to see when you have a cut on the bridge of the nose. It drips right into the eyes. I've been there before. It's like someone puts a red curtain over your eyes.
Dan Hardy, we've seen Goltsov finish 3 of his last 4 inside the first round. Can Heidemann survive this final
Arm
minute?
triangle attempt.
This is going to be a tough minute to survive. This arm triangle looks like it's very tight. Oh, it might be,
almost looked like a tap.
There,
it
right?
looked like a tap.
It looked like he was trying to tap, but his arm was isolated. There is the tap! Denis Goltsov to the championship! First round submission.
Well, here it is from half guard. Able to trap that arm, secured it, had a grip, and the choke is really happening on the other side. He's got that forearm across the neck. He's allowing that left arm of Heidemann to choke the other side of the neck. And his friends and family are happy over there in Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard calls a halt to the action at 4 minutes and 16 seconds of round number 1, declaring your winner by submission to an arm triangle choke and clinching their place in the $1 million PFL Championship.